All right, you wonderful souls. It's time to dive into a bit of Song of the Week and some loot out of Norway with a song, I'll be frank, I cannot pronounce it. But let's learn a little bit more about this band, a band that I discovered right when I started. Hang on about this, bring it in a bit. A band that I discovered right when I was first putting together this station. And I would be lying if I said to you I remember the exact moment or the exact blog that I discovered it on, etc. What I do know is that of all the hundreds of blogs that I have bookmarked, it was one from Sweden, but the rest would just be guessing because I was doing way back then, 21 months ago, before this launched 20 months ago, I was doing like 20-hour days, just sat in the old bachelor pad and just going through every little bit of the internet I could with regard to rock and punk and metal. And that early day formation of what was that led me into the world of Lüt. At the time, a 6-piece. They have changed during the pandemic. A few members have left. And then let's dive into it. So if you just if we go and do a search, there we are. We on the watching screen. I just Googled band Lüt because I've not really ever done much with this. There are some bands that I just don't do any research on. I just allow them to wash their talent through my brain and allow the experiences and the moments, moment to moment to moment, day to day, depending where my energy's at, allow those to just flourish due to the fact that mostly it's because I don't know what they're saying. And then if you go on Google Translate, it's pretty loose. It's not quite right. Contextually, some of it you can piece together, but music is universal, no matter what language. We had a great chat about this in the show. I'll bring it back to me a second. We had a great chat about this in the show, some of us the other day, only a few days ago. So what was that? Monday? It's Wednesday. Just in case you're watching this on the 8th of June, 2022. It's Wednesday. And Josiah had made a great point, which was how many people actually listen to the lyrics and make note of what someone's talking about? Because for the most part, people might just get caught on that hook or that melody or the chord structure, just anything sonically that isn't the lyrical content. And then I made the point of, well, like Rage Against the Machine, when Tom Morello got a bunch of tweets during Trump going for presidency saying, I can't believe you're so political. Your music wasn't, don't spoil it. And he was like, hang on, I think I've got a sound effect for this. I'm pretty sure I've got a sound effect that would probably... No, it's not that. It's that. We'll take the harp out in post. And because there's no editing to any of these videos, we won't take it out in post. So when you do a Google, my brain's working in slow-mo. Just had a brilliant noodle box. I think my body just wants to just let that really soak in. Teriyaki box. So good. Right. If you just Google Lüt, I just want to see what comes up here. Oh, let me make this bigger so you can see it. Very big. I'm glad that now Google lets you know how much you've zoomed in, which is 175% to be clear, because back in the days before they had that, if I do it by accident, I'd be like, great, now I got to squint because I'm not pressing any other buttons. So their website, the first thing, they're a 4-piece. Right, so 2 members have left. This must have updated in the last few days from when I was putting together the start of the week. Oh, well, hang on a second now. I want to double check. Is that why? Let's dive into the music portal here. There's 5 in this picture. Yeah. But yet there's on the website, there's 4 of them. They've literally changed all of that in the last 48 hours. Maybe that's why they didn't share it. I'll update it. I mean, maybe that's not. They'll do what they do, but... Okay. So what I've opened up here, let's go to the website. Not that one, but this one is their bio. They've written, quote, in just a short amount of time, Lüt has established themselves as one of Scandinavia's most exciting new rock bands. They have developed a unique, tight and energetic live show based on riveting melodies and massive guitar riffs. Despite that, they're at the very beginning of their career. See, Google Translate, not always perfect. Lüt has already checked off some major merits of their bucket list. On their bucket list, one of the largest Norwegian radio stations, NMP, is that NRKP3? Oh, I should zoom in so you can see what I'm seeing. We're at 175% again. To be honest with you, I'm an old man at this point. This is great. I might just do this permanently. NRK P3 played both Duvet and Genting. We'll listen to a bit of that. And Boy Toy in heavy rotation. That's back in probably 2017 when they came out. Let's see. Oh no, this is the record that I fell in love with. This is how I... This song and then also Mersmack, which we'll get to, are the ones I first discovered. And yeah, let's check it.
Jävligt fett sån zoom-dritt på den här. There's a car chase. Word on the street is that they're hunting for a ginger. Jag tror vi må lage lite, vi må sette lage en liten story på filmen. Men fan, det här är... Jag får lov att... Ja, det var så.
What did he just call him?
Kappan.
Spimperlimp. What the fudge does that mean? Spimperlimp. Spimp a limp. Spimp a limp. Norway. I don't know. I have no idea what that means. It's got to be some Norwegian slang or something. Right, that's where they took all the really cool pictures for the album artwork. Check this out. Boom. Right. Putting two and two together here. And the other one they said was Boy Toy. And I'll play some Mersmack. Let's check them live. Well, let's finish the quote then, because at the end here it does touch on their live show. They were played in heavy rotation on that station, NRK P3. In 2017, they were nominated for the Norwegian Grammys in the category of Best New Act. They were also nominated for Best Live Act at P3 Gold the same year. The jury described why one should go and see Lüt live when they arrive in your hometown. Quote, no Norwegian band since Turbonegro have a more well-directed live show than Lüt. The combination of great humour, contagious energy on stage, and well-played kicks will make them the band from Tromsø a joy for all senses. All right. This is from 2017. so good. Actually, let's just clarify what the lineup is in 2022 after these changes the last couple of weeks. Because... Oh, they do have a Wikipedia, a Norwegian Wikipedia? Can I get that in... Oh, no. I don't want to go to Facebook. No, thanks. English. Norwegian punk band from Tromsø. Active since 2014. 2 records released so far. Pandian and Mersmak. Here we go. This is up to date. You got Marcus Daniel on vocals. You got Mads on guitar. Oren on guitar. Marius on bass. Hans was formerly guitar player. Will formerly guitar player. And Svenjung drums. Hang on a second here then. I thought Marcus... I'm pretty sure for their latest single, and this is what I got to do because it's near impossible to... I got to come here to 5 people listening right now. Thank you, those 5 people, to the radio station stream. If we do this, this is the song of the week. And Metal Shock Finland are the only blog on the planet. Here, there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before Hans Marius left the band. Okay. So Hans was a singer and guitar player. Mind you, they all do vocals. It's mainly Marcus and either Mads or Oren. I'm learning with you in this moment because, as I said, there's a few bands that I just don't dive into. And I'm hoping to converse with them at some point. And then that's when I'll find stuff out. Okay, right. Before we get onto the actual song, though, let me just play some Mersmak because it's so good. And this is important because what we're seeing here is the evolution across these last 4 or 5 years. And there was a big change when Hans left the band. And what they've done is push themselves in every single way to create an absolute masterpiece. That it's like a band. Okay, they're approaching their 3rd record, so it makes sense. But considering they all live all over Norway, and with the pandemic and all that in between, and trying to make things work, what they've produced is a song that really, to me, is almost like a band that's been going for 30 years. And then they're like, we know who we are now. Every strength, every piece of this, we all shine as a unit. We'll get to that. Mersmak is a crucial cog of that wheel, contextually. How many people have watched this? 23,000? Do you want to get... It's an unfortunate time to pause it. Do you want to guess that they added that alarm in post because he checked his watch and watches don't make noises like that? Anyway. I like that. That reminds me of sort of Shaun of the Dead, Edgar Wright editing. Not quite as fast, but inspired by and flipping sweet. It's a really cool fucking jacket, side note. That's a hell of a way to get kicked out of the band. Didn't even leave him with a bottle of water. Right, you're on your own, son. They're just brilliant. They're so good. Let's check out one more thing before we dive into the Song of the Week choice. Strictly Business, that's great. It's hard not to just, Viepa's great. I know I'm probably saying these wrong pronounce-wise. Okay, let's just... little sample of both of these for you. If I remember correctly, they recorded the second record in LA. That's why there's a lot of Hollywood showing up here. Little sample of Strictly Business, only 668 views. Interesting. It says here, I haven't zoomed in for you. I can hear Harley's playing a tune upstairs. He must be out the shower, so we're into the last 5 minutes here before bedtime stories. It says that he was very embarrassed about that video. I think clearly something was distracting him, and it was just saying he's probably never watched this back, but we're going to use it anyway.
Det så deilig stemning, og det godt at festivalsommeren I gang. Det fint.
This is such a great song. I'll skip this in nearer to the end.
Ja, det må mer inn på midten. Der.
And let's get to the Song of the Week choice here then. I believe the 32nd... Let me open up my document to... Oh. That's not Word, that's Spotify, but sure. It is the 33rd choice. There's a Spotify playlist if everyone wanted to get involved in that. To be honest with you, if you just search WWTR, bam, the podcasting and all the playlists. What the hell is this WWTR? I'm not quite sure what that is. Anyway. So, let's go to the wonderful Metal Shock Finland. And who posted this? Oh, there's no. I believe I did that in the What Was 5 video, actually. tried to give a shout out and thank you, and there wasn't anything there. So this writer says, Lüt have been tapping into the consciousness of rock-loving audiences ever since the band saw the light of day in 2014. In recent years, the band has undergone some major changes, as shown in the upcoming song, I can't pronounce it, which is released today, Wednesday, June 1st. To quote Marcus, singer and songwriter, quote, "This track is extremely different musically and lyrically than what we have done before. Before Hans Mikkelsen left the band, he wrote most of the songs, and this was one of his sketches, which I continue to work on. I've always liked it, but it's just been in the drawer until now." He goes on to say that this song is about seeing oneself from the outside, how to treat people around you, and how our actions affect others. Finally, he says the big changes we've experienced within the band have meant that we've had to find new ways. It's been very positive for our development, but also offered great challenges. In addition, we're all spread across the country, which does not make it easier. This song and the somewhat self-realizing lyrics are probably a result of the somewhat tough and lonely periods. End quote. If you've not heard this yet, with all that context I've given you and that point I made 9 minutes ago about how what they have produced with this song is a tune that showcases every single one of them masterfully. I was going to say for a minute there, it's not even linked in the blog. My my Google and whoever I use for security says we don't like the look of this. So what we'll do instead is just go to the what was that radio website /music /song of the week portal and do it this way instead. There you are, YouTube. Nice. YouTube. Funny that the internet's slow like I am. This is probably the most chilled video I've ever done for What Was That? I'm just so blissed tonight. Now listen very carefully to this opening part here, whilst you see that I'm also a fan of wrestling, Stephen Colbert, and what is this? Just a bunch of other random music that the algorithm thinks I should be into. Looks like a bunch of Norwegian. That one says Nordic. It's like, oh, you're in Norway? We got some Norway shit for you. Hey, Neil, roll out the Norway for John. I know he can't understand it, but he can watch it. Roll it out. When I first heard this, I was lying in bed. It was 1 a.m. And as soon as those vocals came in, I went, is that auto-tune? And then when the second sentence started, I was like, are they using auto-tune to layer up, to not actually correct any of the performance, but using it as a layering tool? Third sentence, it seems that they are. And every now and again, there's this strange little glitch in it. This is a song that's got lots of hidden layers. I love that. Fucking love hidden layers. So just listen to the production in this song, and I'm going to try and play this the whole way through and talk about it at the end, because this is, I would say this is almost like a chapter book. This is the life story of Lüt. This is all of Lüt, as I've said twice already, showcasing their unique skills as a collective masterfully. But if you truly, if you wish to, close your eyes, get some headphones on, and just listen to these production techniques. The hidden smashing plates and closing doors in the background. The cheeky use of that sort of distorted vocal with the glitch on this autotune at the start. The layering as they bring in from verse 1 to chorus 1, to verse 2 to chorus 2. The slight addition of more guitars to formulate that wall and that backbone, that foundation of just, oof. The launch when they go into that last bridge. How they create that space of a few seconds to then come in and lift you up on, like you're being lifted over someone's shoulders to watch them at the festival on the Coachella grounds, into that final part and the abrupt ending where it's like, well, life is just in the moment and you could be great, and then it's like, oh shit, the song's done. Every part of this, again, keyword today, masterful.
Kanskje jeg burde prøve meg ut av taket.
did that move you like it moves me? Every single time. And if you close those eyes, get some good headphones, and really click into and clock onto or rock on, dude, whatever. But Jesus Christ, brain. It's just stunning. I think that is an unbelievable song. That guitar riff almost reminds me of like the sort of thing you'd see on a commercial at the start there for a new phone, right? The new Apple with Samsung parts, the new Samsung without Apple parts. We're just killing them. We're making so much money. But the layers, how everything comes in, those last 20, 24 bars, the way that they just gradually, it's not so much initially, there's no careful ending there. It seems careful. They just take, it's like when you grab it, like when I'm working at Quality Foods and I'm building the packs of baby new potatoes, and I'm going in the box and grabbing as many spuds as I can to then put it in this bag. And then, not everything you grab, like when you're trying to, the flipping Mr. Tubbs, you're trying to get the teddy bear with one of those pincers, and you got it. No, it didn't make it to the bag. Someone's just gone like, just take that out, take out that synth, take out that guitar, take out that right guitar, take out that backing vocal, take this out, and then fuck, the whole thing's just done. Boom. Oh, there's so many layers to that. It's masterfully done. I need to converse. I need to speak with these guys ASAP. I mean, just to hone in on here, this. When they bring that acoustic guitar in, I'm like, whoa, we're going backwards to go forwards, but we're not losing any momentum. We're not losing any of the texture they've created. It's just so good. It's so good. And do you notice there's two guitars there? One acoustic on the left, one on the right, both playing very similar lines with only one, I'd say one every 4 or 5 notes is different on the right-hand side. It's very craftily produced. I'll play it again for you. Close your eyes here if you can. It's the best way for me that I can distinguish between different layers of sound anyway. So the left's going dun 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 dun, and the right, it starts with it and then it accents it. So this will go dun dun dun, and that'll go dun 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 dun, and do an extra accent. And I that's where I'd love to speak with them and say, is that meant to be a subtle jarring, like a subtle, okay, you've gone through a really bad day, but at the end of it, you're talking it out to yourself, you're realizing what you've grown and learned from the day prior, and then everything's sort of just coming back together as you can go to sleep and not allow that to stew and keep you up all night. Is that the intricacy of what they're doing, or is that just my narrative applying to their narrative, and then it's just two different narratives? But that's the magic of music narrative. And when they bring in the screamier vocal, now listen out for these strange boom, 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 like these almost synthetic guitar tones. Is it a synth? Is it guitar? Is it both? But they're just finding gears, right? Most of us drive around, we've got 6 gears. It might be an automatic. I Am Steve, for example, Trucker Steve, he's got 18 gears. They've gone through all of them in this song effortlessly. And it's almost like a haunting figure coming up behind you. Bum, 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 bum. But it's like happy to be haunting you. These aren't minor clashing with major here. This is all in that sweet bubble, but just with that thicker, dirtier tone and texture. And then when they bring the two worlds together, magical. And then let's just talk about that ending there. Let's go to these last 24 bars-ish, 20 bars-ish, 20 seconds-ish. And that's where it starts. Now, just if you can, hone in on what I was talking about a few minutes ago here, about 3.5 minutes ago, where they just seem to take those random clumps out, and yet it doesn't seem, it doesn't make you awkward. It seems like it's meant to be. But to me, I think there's something in this. There's something to the way they've done this. I'll put it back. And that piano was sneaking in there the whole way through that mix. It was there the whole time, and it just got louder and louder until the purposeful, you hear that last note of, then they go minor, then it's over, we're done. But the reason why it doesn't seem to me like a very noticeable to if someone's listening to it in the past, they're not going to notice it if it's just on in the background, they're passing through a mall or something, or if they're just, it's on the radio and you're not necessarily clicked right into it. You got to really, you got to do what we're doing here, which is deconstruct it. But the reason for me why it doesn't seem so brash of a removal of all these layers of textures of instruments is because that drum sound, that kick and that snare in particular, that snare is what's holding right down the middle of this mix, the foundation of it. And it's so powerful, but not overbearing. So they can pull out all this stuff and you don't feel like sonically you've lost anything. But they've pulled out so much of the texturing. Lodestone. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. This is 40 minutes long. If you're still watching at this point, say #tiredness. Or #blissful. I'm just so blissed out. And I could probably just keep deconstructing that for another hour or so. But it's bedtime. I've got to go and do the bedtime books upstairs. And get this uploaded to Vimeo. Maybe it's going to be posted around 9 p.m. your time. Depends. Every Wednesday. That's the goal for these little look-throughs and Song of the Week choices. And I've got a few updates if you are still watching, that I will be posting about in the next 24 hours here on Patreon. Some of you might have already heard it during the show today, or you might find out for the first time. But keep the 18th of this month free if you can. Little was a get together part 2. All right, thank you all so flipping much. Whatever you're doing the rest of your day or your evening, please look after yourself, and I hope there's some fun and smiles involved in the rest of it too, because we've got to cherish that positive. Maybe I should always eat before I do these videos, because I just feel so good right now. This was not sponsored by Noodlebox. Cheerio.